don't have all the answers. I'm not the fountain of youth or the end-all tell-all of how to, make life, better. I can't say that everything that life hands us and throws our way is going to go away, and that life itself is going to become, a bed of roses. Unfortunately, that's not the case. But what I've learned through my everyday life and through the struggles that I've had to overcome in my life, that the only way that I've been able to get through them is to maintain the attitude that I can and I will. As a child, I was bullied. I've faced a lot of health issues that, many people face. And there are those that I know that have not necessarily found ways to handle them in a way that they can manage them on a day-to-day basis. And it saddens me because even though the pains of our physical body do exist, sometimes there are other ways that we can choose to look at those things and to help manage that pain, because we're not just a physical body. I know the doctor could probably attest to this. I used to have a Barbie head as a child, and I always used to say, I wonder why I can't get the back of my hair to look so good, because I can't necessarily reach it. And if we could just do that and kind of take ourselves out and look at ourselves in that way, we might see that we're not just what we see in the mirror. And what I've discovered through the years is that we are connected. Our mind and our body is all one. It's not just here. We're here as well. And the way that I've gotten through most, if not all, of the struggles that I've faced throughout my life is coming back here to my heart and recognizing that when I come back to this place that grounds me, this place that centers me, I can find the wisdom, I can find the knowledge, I can find the peace, and I can find the understanding that I need to help me get through those times. It doesn't make them go away. I always wished I was Glenda the Good Witch with my magic wand, that I could just zap and take myself out. But what I realized is that we are really all Glenda, in the sense that there's a line from The Wizard of Oz that just strikes a chord in me that says, you've had the power all along. It's what you have inside yourself. It's that guidance, that inner voice that tells you that you can, that you will, and that you are capable, and that you are deserving, and you are worthy, and you are able to overcome those adversities. My intention was with keeping it simple, was for it to be a book that you could turn to for those daily doses of inspiration, to find a pick-me-up, to find something that you could use and that speaks to yourself that will help you through those days. Just a couple I'd like to share, and I'm not going to speak much longer because I know that you've all been standing around for the past 20 minutes, and I honor and respect that and don't want to, keep you too much longer. But especially now with the holidays, that concept of trying to quote-unquote keep it simple and simplify and scale back is going to seem daunting and can seem daunting when we're invited to wonderful events like these and the demands of work and family are starting to come at us. But just a few that I think can be helpful is setting intentions. It's not about a religion. It's not anything about, one versus another. It's really just a spiritual practice. And for me, setting an intention is just getting up each morning and just kind of stating to myself and to the world what it is that I'd like. And how to do that is just a matter of stating very clearly what it is that you desire. Today, I knew I needed to come here, so I kind of play my end game and say, okay, I know where I need to be for 5 o'clock, and I know that I have to be at my son's school at 3, and then in order to make sure that I'm prepared and have all the things I need, I back up and say, okay, in order for me to get there successfully and on time, these are the things that I need to do. And I state it clearly out loud in front of my mirror, or sometimes quietly if I don't, want to, sound like a crazy lady if someone's windows would open on the outside. But I think it's important to just state what it is that we want. Doesn't mean that each event is going to go smoothly, but I know that I can stay and create the world around me in order to get things done smoothly. So first, I state my intentions. Part of what I set for my intention for tonight, and I was sharing this with Mary Beth, is that, we can't get we can be specific about what we want, but we can't tell, the universe what it is, how it needs to be done. I wasn't saying that I wanted to meet someone by the name of so-and-so, or that it had to be this way or that way, but as I was driving here, I said, I'm going to be in a room full of amazing women and men, and I'm going to have an opportunity to speak to them about what my message is. And, as I was driving here, I said, I'd love to meet people who are open to my message, who'd be willing to listen to what I have to say, and maybe be willing and open to bring it to their employees or to their group members at some point in the future. And as I pulled in, I set up my table, and before I knew it, Mary came over to me and introduced herself, and we made a connection. And I said to myself, and I said to the universe, thank you. Because with that connection came a validation and a receipt of what I asked for. And I asked to make connection with someone who is receptive to my message in the hopes of bringing it to their community as well. So that's the power of setting intentions and what it can do in your daily life. The second, this time of year, the biggest one, is take a higher perspective. We can get caught up in, looking things in our life and recognizing the pressures and the burdens of what comes with making all the decisions we need to this time of year. And we can get caught up in the angst and the anger and the frustration of, the crowds in the mall and the person in line who says she, bought something online, but I don't have the receipt, but I know you can look it up, and she's standing there, and all you want to do is, buy up these last-minute things and get home, and you can't. Be a hawk. Be a hawk and take the higher perspective. Fly above and look over and say, you know what, I'm exactly where I need to be, exactly where I'm supposed to be at this time, and just look down upon the situation and remove yourself from it. And if you can remove yourself from it, you're not really there. You're not really feeling that feeling of angst anymore. And you can hopefully stand there with a little more patience and a little bit more of an understanding that everyone's got someplace to go. And for whatever reason, you were just meant to stand there. Maybe there's something you're supposed to notice. Maybe there's someone you're supposed to meet. And it's going to be an opportunity to, to make a new connection yourself. The last thing is that I'd like to share is about finding time for yourself. This time of year, if not any other time of year, it's important to stay true to you, to remember who you are, and to take care of yourself. There's a reason why they tell us on planes that we need to put our oxygen masks on first before we can take care of anyone else. It's because if you're not there to take care of them, then you can't take care of anybody. If you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. So try not to burn the candle at both ends. Look at your schedule. Try not to overcommit. And at the end of the day, give yourself 5 minutes to thank yourself, treat yourself, find time to decompress, read, do some journaling, do something that you feel is going to help you to get up the next day and to start your day and recharge your battery. And the biggest thing sometimes is just to recognize that you've done a lot. It's not always about doing more, but recognizing what you've already done, and to, thank yourself, appreciate, and tell yourself, I really have done a great job managing and getting through my day, and I'm thankful for the universe and all the wonderful experiences I've had, and hopefully with that kind of attitude, you'll be able to get up the next morning and start all over again. So